Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was a King of the Strongest Empire, guys. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, remember if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. I already posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Sent to the My Hero Academy universe by Kaguya. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys, over Anime Prince. And I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Fused with Minato, Kushina and Kurama. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys, over Anime King 3. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start now, guys. So the last time we left off, as they got back to the house and sat down to have a dinner, Inieri was rather rude to his mother, seeing that he was not listening at all, as he was upset about Gato killing them all. However, Naruto turned his sights upon him. As Naruto spoke to the child, Tsunami was shocked and pleased. She's been trying her best to make Inieri feel comfortable, to make him understand that they still had hope. However, it wasn't doing anything, and she thought that she was a failure as a mother. However, Naruto came in and changed the child's whole point of view. He gave him a reason to go on, he inspired him, as it was quite a shocking scene. Naruto's words seemed to be able to capture people in a way that most did not understand, capture them and pull them together to make them realize that giving up was not an option. He spoke the way he carried himself. It was like a king speaking to his subordinates, and it was quite enrapturing. The next day, Sasuke was the one that remained behind, as the group made their way. Arriving towards the bridge, Kakashi was surprised, so was Sakura, as he had not checked up on Naruto when he was doing guard duty. However, Naruto seemed to have come to know all the people here and familiar himself with them quite well, as they all speak to him with such respect, and he gave them that respect as well, as they greet him with happy smiles. And the way they speak, it was that they know him for years now. It was quite a strange scene. It was then that Zabuza and Haku showed up. However, Naruto quickly took charge, removing Sakura and Sasuke from everything, as he just took charge like that. As he forced Kakashi, well, more or less, to fight Haku, as Haku created an ice mirror around Kakashi. It was the first time that Haku could test her skills without worrying about killing someone, as she was fighting a Jonin Sensei of the Hidden Leaf, as she was having fun. Usually she had to worry about either killing someone or subduing them. She never fought for fun before to see how strong she is. As Naruto had knocked out Sakura, so she did not hear what he had to say, as he spoke to the people of Wave. He showed them the fight, while Kakashi was a rather skillful ninja and powerful as well. Kakashi had been having a bit of difficulty when it comes to his image lately. First, it was Naruto and Sasuke that completely outmatched him and destroyed him in the battle, and he stood no chance against them. And now, well, he decided to hold himself back a bit against Haku, which is a big mistake as she was able to take him out. However, she was not doing so well either. The battle left her exhausted and bleeding badly. It was a good thing that Malice and the others arrived, as Malice healed up Haku. On the other side of the bridge, Naruto faced off against Zabuza as they clash, the both of them fighting, as Zabuza found himself getting outmatched. However, he started to use his blade in a different way, as he started to let his blade feed on his own blood. The power that came from it was rather more deadly than before, as the battle became violent as they clashed against one another. However, Malice and the others did not have a shred of doubt that their king would not come out on top. The battle kept on going as they clashed one after another, as Naruto told Zabuza that it doesn't matter what his blade needs to cut, he can cut it. Nothing can stop him from slicing his target. as Naruto got a bit too much. He ended up severing Zabuza's hand off and sliced him from shoulder down. Naruto apologized, he got caught up in that. As he proceeded to heal Zabuza, his arm replacing back where it was. It just seemed to reattach, shocking Zabuza, as he screamed at Naruto that he almost killed him. Zabuza asked in terms of strength where did he match up in their ranks, as Naruto told him that he matched up in the Genin level. Zabuza was shocked that he matched up in the Genin level. From fighting Naruto, he could see that Naruto was holding back severely against him, but still he matched up in the Genin level. However, they were told that all the Empire royalties will be handed down to him as well for him to train to get stronger. That is when Gato arrived, as Naruto started to speak to the man and told him that he wronged his people. Gato cursed at Naruto and saying that it wasn't his people, the wave belonged to him. The people started to chant Naruto's name as Naruto raised his blade. There was no sound as Naruto erased the hundreds of Gato's soldiers and Gato as well. Their bodies were just torn by a single slash from Naruto's blade. As Zabuza saw how truly monstrous strong Naruto was, it was beyond incredible. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. The crowd on the bridge went crazy for their new king. He was gonna be their chance to live an actual life. Cheering and celebration continue. Tazuna, Inieri, and Tsunami all joined in. The people praising Tsunami for being so brave to gather all the people to bring them here. As she gave them back hope, gathering the town's people was not an easy thing. Most of them had given up, but she was able to rekindle their hope. As Naruto and his supporters moved to the end of the bridge to talk, allowing the people to revel in their new freedom. After a couple of minutes, a newcomer in red appeared at the end of the bridge. Greetings, Naruto-sama. I take it that all went according to plan. Kagura stepped forward as she kneeled in front of her lord. Of course, you did an amazing job as always, Kagura. I know I can always rely on you. Kagura drank it like the finest wine, as she really loved her lord praise. Thank you, my lord. It fills me with joy that you're pleased. Zabuza was curious to know who this woman was and what they were talking about. Plan? What plan? He said. It seems Haku was also curious as well. The way this Kagura spoke with Naruto in such a sultry tone. Yes, since you are part of our ranks, it's only right that you know about our operations. Yesterday we had a meeting on how to handle the operation here in Land of Wave. It was decided that we would eliminate Gato and assume control of his Welton operations. Using an imposter, we were able to round up all the mercenaries in one spot and take them out while the people watch. Naruto answered honestly, as he see no reason to lie to those he called friends. But how did you know that townsfolk will show up? And why was it necessary for them to witness this? Haku was still a bit confused about the point of the plan. Closure and proof. If the boss just took out Gato with no one to vouch for him, then no one would believe him or take him seriously. If he took this plan using his strength, he would be no better than Gato. With this plan, he could show the people that the era of suffering that they experienced could come to an end if they trusted him. It gave them a choice, and though in this situation it seems like they were choosing the lesser of two evils, it was still their choice to make, and they haven't been given a choice in a very long time. Zabuza was the one that answered her, showing how insightful he could be when he wanted to. Very good, Zabuza. You will be quite the threat after some training. I am Kagura, one of the seated members of Naruto-sama cabinet. I am also the one responsible for getting the townspeople here. Well, for getting the idea in, Lady Tsunami's mine. Using my special ability, I was able to play the role of the thug that went to attack her. Lord Uchiha knew of my role and played along perfectly. With the threat knocking on her front door, she would feel the pressure to want to fight back, gathering the people and leading them here. Also, she was able to see some of Lord Uchiha's abilities, which made her choice easier to come. Kagura said that she was facing Zabuza and Haku. I see, you already had them, but you want to show them that they had a choice, and that this was the right one. Haku said that she pondered over everything. Sounds familiar. By the way, Kagura, I apologize if I was a bit too rough. I wanted to be convincing, Sasuke said, walking up to the group. There is no need to worry, Lord Uchiha. I sustained no damage at all. Hey brat, Zabuza said, I haven't been able to pay you back for what you did to me a week ago. We can handle whatever grudge you would like to handle. However, know this, you'll be going up against the head knight of the Uzumaki Empire. I'm not dumb enough to take you on now. However, once we go through this training you keep talking about, I'll kick your ass. Then you will get your rematch when you've obtained your Hatsu. What the hell is Hatsu? And what is... Naruto interrupts Zabuza. Now, no need to ask questions about what you're about to get the answers for. Know that everything here is taken care of. Clone Sasuke and I will stay here and finish the mission, as well as prepare the land. As for when we can get the leaf out of here, for now we all are to return home. Time skip. Land of Sky. It was once a testament to bitterness and resentment. However, now it was remodeled. Over the years, the Land of Sky had taken a complete drastic turn. Its architecture now complete of several metallic skyscrapers, with road ducts connected to them, and many power lines surrounding, with multiple great mines, and the seemingly infinite uses for Uzumaki sealing. They were able to import the materials and have the village up and running in no time at all. There were stores and restaurants, spas, and nail salons. It seems they had every amenity one could want. A massive fully equipped hospital and medical corps, a well-supported technology division, even military and police department, and barracks. This village seemed to have everything that other villages could only dream of. Naruto and company had been given a tour by Bando, Malice, and Kagura. Bando was more excited to show his lord the hard work of his followers, and now their home had become the many first to advance to this point. To say that Naruto was pleased with what he witnessed was an understatement. The Ninja Academy was stunning, and the kids were doing and learning everything he approved of, with there being all of the health and resources for them to become splendid shinobi, or whatever they felt like they want to do within their life. Due to the academy offering non-shinobi's courses, the military look and perform like clockwork. The medics were getting more and more training every day, and the people seemed happier than ever. He even got his own office. It was the largest and tallest skyscraper in the center of the village, which housed the main office for most of the departments that he had implemented. On the top floor sat his office with everything a king could want and need. Big beautiful decks, check. Fancy computer, check. He even had living quarters on the same floor. Yes, Naruto was very happy to see what he and his followers were able to accomplish. After showing Zabuza and Haku their living arrangements within the village and giving them their official Uza headband, they arrived at the training annex. It was a massive stadium-like building filled with different rooms for different training accommodations. As Bando finished, they all noticed a figure approaching them. All but Naruto, Haku, and Zabuza kneel. The former Kirin ninjas looked on with confusion, believing that this was someone of importance. But it was strange to see Sasuke also kneel. That was weird. Sasuke held a position second to Naruto. He was his personal knight, and he hadn't talked about anyone between them, so who was this? Naruto-kun, it has been too long since you come to play with me. The figure came into view. It was a woman with light blue hair. She was clad in leg and arm restraints, but not much else. Her most notable feature was her large horns protruding from her head. The horns curved multiple times to perform a unique look, and they were two-tone, the top being emerald and the bottom resembling a shimmering onyx, just like Naruto chains. And then there were her eyes that seemed as deep as the depths of the sea, maybe even deeper. I am sorry, Tayamate Okasan, said Naruto. Okasan meaning mother. Zabuza and the others were a bit confused, given her description. They hadn't known Naruto that long, however he seemed a bit worried to not be here for the longest while to play with her, which was rather weird. I meant no disrespect by being away for so long. I should have at least sent you a message through one of your servants. I am back for a little while, showing some of our new friends the ropes and getting their training started. The woman, now identified as Tayamate, walked up and grabbed Naruto and wrapped him in a strong hug. It's alright, she said. I know my little prince has been out making his place in the world, but you are here now, so it's time for some mother-son time. Zabuza was about to say something as he spoke. He only got the word but out before both him and Haku fell to their knees. There was a pressure unlike anything Naruto or Sasuke's ever released. As it seemed to be driving them mad. Naruto-kun, it's time to play now, she said. Say goodbye to your friends. Tayamate voice sounded like multiple females were talking at once, as she turned and started to walk away, with Naruto still in her arms. Malice-san, Sasuke, you guys are in charge until I come back. Sasuke, prepare to handle, if my clone pop. Get Zabuza and Haku started on their training. I'll be back in a week or so. Don't forget to, however he was cut off, as a woman sank under the ground with him, like the ground was water. What the hell was that? Said Zabuza as he got back up, feeling his heart slowly return back to normal. Sasuke spoke up. That is one of His Majesty's summons. Namely, the most powerful one. Probably the most powerful being you have ever witnessed. However, it is no time to discuss that. It's time to get you two stronger, he said. The most powerful being they have ever seen? Haku was a bit startled by that power a moment ago. Was that just from her glancing at them? That was scary. Time skip. 2 weeks had gone since the battle on the bridge, which resulted in Gato being removed from the Land of Wave, and the Wave formulated into the Uzumaki Empire. Under Naruto's rule, the Wave can begin to move once again, with their ports now under control once again. They start to finish their trade, as they start to fuel their economy, adding many back into the workforce that had been out of the workforce. Reconstruction and remodeling could be seen throughout the land, thanks to the resources that Naruto and his company had been able to move into the village. As Naruto supplied the Wave with all the funds coming from Gato, supplies and business used in the God Gate, all of the material, the workers that came from the Empire came over to the Land of Wave. To make sure that they weren't discovered, they wear civilian clothes similar to what the Wave people wore. Even though the Wave was doing a lot better, their king wanted them to hide that fact. Naruto wanted the Wave to seem like a trading port to the rest of the world, to protect it while it was still in the early stages of its development. He will be damned if he let anyone take control of his realm, regardless of the situation. For that reason, he held the constructions for the banks, the hospital, the military bases, and the barracks. They also halted the construction for the state-of-the-art academy, which will educate all ages in a variety of traits, shinobi craft included. They even had to wait to begin their government operations, which they were able to establish in the past 2 weeks. The first matter was the need for a leader of the Wave. Naruto suggested Tsunami act as the emissary and the leader of the Wave, effectively making her the daimyo of the village. At first she was against the idea, saying that she was a simple stay-at-home mom, as she just knew the basics about these things. There was much more people out there that were better than her. However, once word got out to the citizens, all of them believed that she should take the position. She had gathered them all, she had gave them back hope to come here, where they had met their king. As they came at her house in a crowd, begging her to lead them, Tsunami only wanted what was best for her people, so she ended up agreeing to the position. They knew that she would be the competent leader that they needed, and if their king believed the same, there was no question that she wouldn't. Departments of operations were then set up, and the administrations for them were set. Naruto also told the people who he was, so they could understand him more. This act earned him immense respect and the sympathy of the older members. Some of them knew of the great lands of Uzu, and they heard about his fall during the Second Great Shinobi War. Before he was even born, his path was difficult, but here he was, making his claim. It took a true ruler to accomplish what he had. As Naruto was surprised how unfazed they all seemed to be by the fact that he was a Jinchuriki. They told him that it was his actions that they were convinced by, not the beasts sealed inside of him. Plus he explained that Kurama wasn't some mindless beast, but an intelligent being forced to do someone else's bidding. They were even informed of the Uchiha massacre, of how the leaders of Konoha used the most gifted child to slaughter an entire clan. This only caused the leaders to see them in a better light, and shamed the Leaf for the treatment of Naruto and Sasuke. Tsunami was the most upset by all of this. These boys had arrived and saved her and her home from the tyranny of that bastard Gato. Before all that, they had protected her father, helped her son. She didn't know how a whole village could call Naruto a demon. How could they disrespect the sacrifice of so many so casually, for so long? She hated the fact that he and Sasuke had to return there once their mission was done. and she assured them that they will have the finest of residents inside the wave if they decide to stay. But they assured her that it was all for the Empire future, and they will be there for as long as needed. There was one more new development in the wave. The bridge was finally completed. The help that they received reduced the building by a considerable amount of time, as Naruto also blessed it with several seals for durability, longevity, and even want to keep the metallic part of the bridge nice and shiny. The people all agree that it should be named the Great Uzumaki Bridge, in honor of their empire and their new emperor. This brought tears into Naruto's eyes. Back at his home village, he was treated differently for something that he couldn't control, for the sake of the very people in his old home. Yet he had showed these people who he was. He had helped them, and they had known. He gave them the choice to accept him, and they did. It meant a lot to him, and they understood. No one would make fun of him, he was their king, and if he couldn't be himself with them, then who? Everything seemed to look up for Land of Wave, however this just caused a great deal of confusion and concern for Kakashi Hatake. It was great that they seemed to be doing better, however, it happened overnight. Kakashi was bedridden for about a day or so. Once he was able to go out and survey the land, he noticed a boost in morale and population, and the construction. Seeing the look on their face and the feeling that came from the place, one would have never known that these people had suffered. He suspected Naruto and Sasuke to be behind it all. However, he did not know how. How could they assist the land to this degree? Kyuubi or no Kyuubi, the boys couldn't have access to resources outside the village, could they? Kakashi had questioned Naruto up to everything about happened. Where did Naruto get his weapon? How did he make ice? What happened after he was knocked out? Naruto was kind enough to inform him how he defeated Zabuza, and right after Gato and his men arrived, and he swiftly dealt with them. However, he did not tell him anything about the weapon. Kakashi had no luck with his other students. Sakura had been knocked out, and Sasuke arrived in the final moments not knowing what happened. So all the answers were with Naruto, and Kakashi knew that he could not get anything out of him. He thought that he might get something out of Tazuna or the bridge builders, but the people of the wave would not tell him a damn thing, as they told him that Zabuza was beaten up by Naruto, and then Gato and his thugs were handled. It was like they rehearsed it. Even the younglings kept tight about everything they knew, so Kakashi didn't know a damn thing, as he also thought back on his fight with the mysterious Kunoichi, or rather his defeat to her. He was supposed to be an elite of Konoha, yet he was soft on his opponent, and that could have gotten him killed. Her jutsu was powerful. However, it was his fault. He was also beating himself up for falling for a clone feint, one of the most basic Shinobi 101, just because he underestimated his opponent. His burns and wound healed quickly, however his pride will take time to mend. He figured that he was thinking too much into it. Sure, the boys might be strong and have mysterious abilities, but they won't be the first that Konoha produce. It was a birthing ground of some of the most iconic shinobi the world has ever seen, him included. He would continue to keep eye to them. However, he was also going to dedicate more eyes towards Sakura and his own training as well. Speaking of Sakura, she was furious. Just when she believed that Naruto might be a nice guy, he tricked her. At least she thought it was a trick or some kind of genjutsu, because after she looked at the puddle that the clone had made, everything went black. She told Kakashi when she woke up, and they both confronted Naruto on it, but both Tazuna and Inyari backed up Naruto's story, saying that she suddenly collapsed, and was caught by the clone before she hit the ground face first. That last detail was thrown in to help paint him as the Good Samaritan. She didn't buy it though. Sakura was sick and tired of being treated as if she was so useless, like she wasn't even there. After confronting Naruto did not work, she went to Kakashi to help her with more training. It took Kakashi about half a week to heal, and once he was though, he began her training. He included physical training as well to strengthen her muscles, to make her reaction time and flexibility and dexterity stronger. Sakura did not complain once. She seemed like she was ready to improve. He knew that it had to do with her teammates, and Kakashi supported her for it. She wanted the recognition of her peers, and she was working towards it. Kakashi was glad to see that he was wrong for the initial encounter that he made when he first met her. Her chakra reserves and control had improved quite well, in Kakashi's opinion. Seeing that her teammates had some flashy move of their own, he decided it was best to add some to her repertoire. He decided to teach her the raw clone jutsu. By the end of the second week, she had the strength to make 2 fully stone clones. He also had her learn the Earth style Earth Dragon Bullet. Finally, he went over strategy with the young Kunoichi, as he sparred with her with certain handicaps to make sure that she can think on her feet. She was on her way to becoming a fine shinobi. If there was any development between Team 7, it would be the bond that she and her sensei had developed. They had spent the majority of this trip together, seeing that the boys always ran off. As Sakura appreciated him helping her become stronger, and he admired her drive and dedication. Now that the bridge was done, Team 7 would be leaving the wave, as they were saying their goodbyes. Seeing them off was Tazuna, Inari, and a large group of townspeople, along with Tsunami with a big smile. Once they said goodbye to the people there, Kakashi and Sakura not knowing what this goodbye really meant. Naruto suddenly stopped at the end of the bridge. "Is everything okay, Naruto?" Kakashi asked, seeing him just stop like that. "This is embarrassing, but it seems I don't have enough chocolate to continue." As he scratched the back of his head. "Wait, you're a clone?" said Kakashi. "Yes, but not for too much longer." "Where is the original?" Kakashi said, as he was frustrated. Naruto did not care for his authority at all. He did whatever he wanted and always have a flawless defense whenever he was confronted. "Of that, I'm not sure. No need to make a big deal about it. We'll be at the village before you even arrive. You two just have to be good shinobis and make it back yourself." The clone sported an innocent smile, knowing that it will further piss off Hatake before dispelling. "Wait, he said we, right?" Sakura asked. She looked towards Sasuke. He responded with a glare before poof. "Of course. They're both clones," Sakura said. Kakashi had no clue how to handle this. These boys could not be controlled, not by him. This upset him to no end because he was their Jonin sensei, yet they saw him as a father, a nuisance, a hindrance. "Kakashi sensei, what should we do now?" Sakura asked. It was clear to her that this was a highly upsetting development for her sensei. He was responsible for all their safety, but he couldn't do his job if his students were out, doing whatever, whenever. "We're heading back to the village as planned, Sakura. I know this might be a lot to ask, but do your best to keep up with me. We're gonna move pretty fast for a while, but if it's too much for you, let me know. We won't stop until you need some rest." "Yes, sensei," she said. "This will just be another part of my training, right?" She didn't want Kakashi to worry too much about her, especially when he had his mind on where Naruto and Sasuke were and what they were up to. "Exactly. This will help build up your stamina and your speed." As with that, they move off. Hokage-sama is not gonna like this at all. Time skip with Sasuke. Darkness. Utter darkness as far as the eye could see, or could not see. Excellent, Sasuke-sama. Erase your presence. Make no sound. The voice said as Sasuke was in a combat stance. His eyes closed. You will hear them, but you must never let them hear you. Your strikes must be swift, precise, and lethal. The sound of whistling increased. However, it was enough to let Sasuke knew that something was heading his way. Don't let your move be dictated. Move at your leisure. Sasuke waited until the last moment as he tilted his head, the projectile passing by. Good. Your intuition is the one sense that cannot be manipulated. A predator is a creature of instinct. Use your instincts to hunt your prey. Sasuke moved, yet there was no indication that he had done so. He could hear sounds around him like footsteps and more whistling. Sasuke waited for the last minute as he dodged the projectiles coming his way. Hunt, the voice said in a whisper in the room. However, to Sasuke it sounded like the voice was booming right into his ear. He moved to his first target, locating them by the footsteps. Sasuke swung his blade as he sliced right through his target. The only sound that could be heard was something hitting the ground. Sasuke was once again on the move, dashing from target to target, cutting down all in his way without making a move. You have come a long way, my child. When you first came to us with so much potential, but so much fear. Fear that you will fail your friend. Fear that you will never become strong enough to carve your own path. Sasuke continued as he cut more and more of the assailants down, as he took in everything the voice had to say. But you took my word to heart. Do you remember them, young lord? The voice asked. However, Sasuke did not speak. Very good. I'm sure you remember it very well. The voice said in a gleeful tone. Fear should not dictate your actions. When you protect someone, you don't let them die. When you make a decision, you follow through. And when you attack to kill. Whether it be your enemies, your obstacles, or your fears. You'll be able to vanquish them all in a silent way. Sasuke ran and bisected his target as he sheathed his blade. Excellent, simply excellent. You certainly are the best summoner that we have been blessed with, Sasuke-sama. One who truly embraced the aspect of the owl. The room lit up to show that Sasuke was surrounded by dozens of white puppets in white hollow clothes. These were training puppets with special seals that would make them do certain combat maneuver training. They were of the assassin type, using quick movements, poison senbons, and kunais that were more slimmed down with sharpened tips. The source of the voice also revealed it was a gigantic owl. Feathers of white and grey, it had massive yellow eyes, with two dark grey feather tops on its head that looked like horns. It also had some razor-sharp talons. Thank you for your kind words, Kurunsuran Sensei. The way of your clan has helped me to strengthen myself instead of relying on my eyes. It has also helped with my personal growth. Even though I knew the truth, I was still letting it hinder me. You were just a boy. You couldn't have done anything than just focus on your growth. Sasuke thought back to his first meeting with the giant owl. Years ago when they started their training, Kurama suggested that the both of them sign summoning contracts. Since she couldn't teach the boys in person, she pointed out that the summons would be able to physically interact and teach them arts that focus directly on the summoning clan. They checked the archive in the safe house and they came across the summoning contract for the owls and Naruto's summoning contract. Sasuke took an interest in the owls because of their freedom, as his brother had a fixation with crows as well, of them being free to just explore the world and fly. Upon first signing the contract, the one to show up was Kurunsuran Sensei, as she began her assessment of his value. As a leader of the Owl Clan, she was shocked to find out that a small boy had summoned her. Because of their sound-resistant feathers, the Owl Clan specialized in espionage and assassination, as they developed an art called the Silent Way. The Silent Fist and the Silent Killing all came from the Silent Way, the difference being how much control you had. One had to keep a thin veil of chalk around himself and take deep breaths for long sessions until the next one was needed. The last part was complete awareness. One has to be completely aware of your environment and use it to your advantage. She took Sasuke to the Forest of Silence, as she dropped him there and had him made it all the way to the other end where the owls resided. The forest was home to many gigantic trees that blocked out the natural light. The most terrifying aspect was the Kazura trees that grew there. The trees suppressed every sound in their surroundings, making it impossible to hear anything coming your way. Predators and prey adapted to this, but Sasuke being dropped right in the center of this, it was hard for him to adapt so easily. She offered him only one advice: trust in your instincts. He was like many young owls, roaming around in the dark after first opening his eyes. However, she knew that she could turn him into a rafter. Even his Sharingan was no use to him. However, Sasuke was able to calm his breathing and calm down, and he followed what she said. He trusted his instincts. While it was not easy, Sasuke was able to make it through. Since then, Sasuke has been trained by her. She also informed him of the feats of Sage Mode and the things that he can pull off with it. But before that, he needed to learn to passively absorb that energy. However, Sasuke was interrupted as he received the memories of his clone dispelling. Sasuke sighed. Unfortunately, it seems I must take my leave. Did something happen? Yes, Naruto-sama and I left clones with our team 2 weeks ago. I've been able to switch my clone ever so often. It seems that the clone he sent out finally ran out of chakra and dispelled in front of our Jonin Sensei. We have to reach the Konoha before him to prevent any issues. So you have to go and find your friend. I'm not too sure where he might be. Lady Tiamat took him away, so I'm not sure where he might end up. All I have to wait for is for him to receive the clone memories. Very well. We will end the training for today, but you will soon have to find time to begin your Senjutsu training. Of course, Sensei. Thank you for your help. It was my pleasure, Sasuke-sama. Meanwhile, with Naruto, the ocean depths contain many wonderful mountain range, dormant and active volcanoes, incredibly deep trenches, strange creatures with even more going down towards the ocean floor. Those mysteries were concealed by the lack of light because it could not reach a vast distance down below. To most people, this was just the ocean floor that will never be reached. However, those that have reached down there and explored it have been able to see the depths of everything below. It all started in the depths, before the sage, before chakra, They were the depths. The first of all came from the very bottom of the ocean, with more following suit. The ocean was like a mother to all, the origin of life. None knew of the blessings she bestowed upon the world, of all its inhabitants. She had existed for so long and seen all that happened around her in the world, and it saddened her to see the actions of what she helped create. Regardless of this, she still loved the inhabitants of the world, despite even if they did not know of her. If there was anything that truly saddened her, it was how lonely she was. She has always been and always be, but it was still lonely. She always wanted to experience what it felt like to be a mother. She had created those to serve her. She had created many more. However, she wanted that child she could call her own, one worthy of her kingdom and her love. It seems like her wish would never be answered until one day she felt a call. She had released several parchments into the world, with several special sealing matrix that only someone that was deemed worthy would be able to call upon her. The seals to unlock the secrets of the summons were the first part of her test. Once someone was able to decipher the sealing, they were reverse summoned into a body of water. As frightening as this could be, the test was to see if one was of the water. Those who were would know that they were not in danger if they gave themselves over. She would save them. However, if you feared it and believed that it would take your life, then it would. She had lost track of how long it had been, lost hope that she would ever be a mother until he came. She had observed the world and the people of it, as she created something for someone important that she thought might come one day, long ago. A palace for a majesty, a city at the bottom of the sea. She chose to name it Atlantis. Inside, she would wait for a child to come to her, creating more servants to fill the void as time passed her by. In her throne room sat the goddess of the sea and a gigantic orb of floating water. This acted as her final test, and if one could pass it, they would be reborn as her child. A child born from the waters. She had waited and watched as the people change, saddened by the cycle that the world seemed to fall in. Fight after fight, war after war, death after death. It worried her that her child was already out there, amongst those who already lost the ways of man. Then one day, a young blonde boy appeared in the orb of water. She stared at him, observing his reaction. No one has ever appeared in front of her, but here he was panicking in the water. As he tried to swim to the top, however, he made no progress. After more failed attempts, he just stopped moving. However, he was not dead, because she could sense his essence. He did not drown. His aura wrapped around his body. As he calmed his breathing, he showed no fear, he showed no concern. He looked like a child in his mother embrace. She has seen it many times, observed in the world of men. The smiles of countless mothers and children when they were together. Once she was close enough, she could see the smile in his face. He was not fighting the water despite it being able to drown him. She knew that he had nothing to fear, but how could he? She reached as she pulled him out. Naruto coughed up some water. As he looked up towards the woman, she could only be described as a true beauty, with the softest skin ever, with the two curved horns. However, her eyes was what drew him in. They were so blue, so deep, however they were filled with sadness. It was like a mirror to his own soul. As he looked into those eyes, as she started to cry, as Naruto asked what is wrong, she responded that she was his mother. However, Naruto argued against that his mother was Kushina Uzumaki, and he would not disrespect her memory by replacing her. Tiamat decided that it was best for her to introduce herself, her creations, her desires to the boy, hoping that he would understand. Naruto was shocked by what he learned. Tiamat was a primordial being, an entity that came before the others. She was so old that none in his lifetime had ever even heard of her. He was the first in century that was able to decipher her seal, as Naruto told her that it was the hardest that he ever came across. He told her he was only able to solve it because how many of the parts that just seemed to flow into one another. It was like the sea itself. It might have looked simple on the surface, however, there was many mystery underneath. She told him only a child of the water could feel the flow of the seal. This only intrigued him more. She told him about all that came before him, the empires that has risen and fell. She had observed the shinobi world for the longest time. As she told him about her tests, she wanted a child that was worthy of all that she had to offer. Naruto had an internal conversation with Kurama, asking her what she learned about everything. Kurama told him that she couldn't sense any negative emotion coming from Tiamat. Tiamat snickered a bit. As they had their conversation, she interrupted and told Naruto that him and the fox had nothing to worry about. She promised that she only wanted to give him all that he needed, and that he required as her child. Naruto King Guard did not attack or appeared, so he decided to believe her. After all, his chains always came out when he was going up against someone that threatened him. As she asked him for a chance, as Naruto knew her words were true, just looking into her eyes told him that she wanted to be a mother and he always wanted one. It wasn't meant to disrespect his own mother, but for being of this age and power wanted help. How could he say no? As Naruto was bestowed the contract to summon Tiamat and her servants. Now years later, Naruto found himself training once again in the walls of the Atlantean palace, under the tutelage of his mother. Tiamat sat on her throne as she watched her child fight against her servants, the Atlanteans. They were beings with humanoid appearance, but with features that could be found amongst the people in the deep. She had never taken her time to name them, so once Naruto became her adoptive son, he took it on himself to name each and every one of them. As Naruto was in the room shirtless, with only his hakama on, he was fighting against 3 people. The first was a feminine humanoid with green eyes and white hair, and green fin-like ears. She was wearing a sailor shirt and black underwear, with knee-high armor boots. Naruto named her Mikage. The second was a fatigued little girl with glowing white hair and silver eyes. She was wearing a black hoodie that zipped down, along with a small white backpack, as she had a tail with a monster head on the end of it. The teeth of it was razor sharp. She was named Onagi. The last was a humanoid who appeared like a young child, with white skin, 2 rectangular horns, long white hair that reached down to her waist, as she was wearing a sleeveless white dress with a black coral decoration. She was deemed Shisana. The 3 Atlanteans circle him as they wait for an opening. That's right, my child. Now shorten the range of your end to just an arm's length. Tiamat instructed Naruto from the sidelines. During his first time training here, Naruto explained the Uzumaki application of chakra, as she was impressed by that. The more he trained, the stronger he gets, as she teach him how to influence everything in his range, even the water molecule in the air. She never felt the need to name it, however, Naruto took it upon himself and called it Abyss Arts Deep Spear. Though his current application was just the first stage, it was Onagi who would leap forward first. Yellow sparks started to encompass her as she moved towards the right side of Naruto. She was quick, and once she was in range, she began a thrust of strikes with her tail. Chains shot out from Naruto's elbow and wrapped down his arms, all the way down to his fingers. As he blocked the attack, he parried every single one of them without moving any other part of his body, only his one arm. Mikage was extremely fast, moving in to capitalize on fighting Naruto with her fellow Atlantean. As chains shot from Naruto's other arm as well, and create another gauntlet on his arm as he blocked every one of Mikage's assault. She was using her legs like blades, like she was using dual wielding blades, as Naruto blocked the both of them as he stood his ground. Amazing, my prince. A clear mind direct your aura. Strong bones conduct your aura, strengthening the cells. Feel all around you the shape, the cells, the density, and learn from it. Direct your aura to flow with the aura around you. Deflect all harm from you like a wave, using only what is necessary, concealing what lies under the surface until time is right. Tiamat stood from her throne to praise her prince. She has never felt more triumph than when she watched her children grow. Chisana performed quick flashes around the area as grey orbs formed around her. Closer look to show that these orbs had mouths that was revealing a reddish orange gas or smoke. They also had no eyes. Barnacle Bomb! She pointed towards Naruto as 2 of the orbs fly towards him. As Naruto calmly spoke, I can feel my connection growing deeper. Every movement of my body become a part of a meditation, removing thoughts from my mind. It become an instinct, said Naruto. Once the orbs enter Naruto's sphere of influence, his arms move. It was like the entire place went in slow motion. His arms shot forward and grabbed the orbs, using them to block incoming attacks from the other 2. With amazing fluidity, Naruto grabbed Onagi's tail, which had one of the bombs lodged in the mouth, and Mikage's leg, which had one of the blades pierced the bomb and Naruto was stuck on it. As Naruto threw the both of them, it all happened so fast. It wasn't until they reached over to the side wall they noticed the orbs on them. The explosion went off. However, the two girls got to their feet after tanking Chitana's explosive. They took minimum damage. Damn it, I would have had the prince if it wasn't for you guys. Stay out of my way, Misaki, Anagi shouted. She could be described as childish, mischievous, energetic, chaotic, and a bit too gleeful. She connected with Naruto almost immediately because of what she felt from him. He was a monster like her, a being that was able to hide it though, but he found bliss in brutality and chaos. Some might call her a psycho, but she would take it as a compliment. You are one of Her Majesty's finest. Do not sully her name by blaming your shortcomings on others, Mikaji said in a stern tone. She was one of the more serious Atlanteans. She prided herself on her speed and power, and felt like it was her job to protect her queen and their realm from all dangers, much like a fine knight. At first, she did not understand why Tiamat would have wasted her time with a mortal, but after seeing what Naruto was capable of, she was quick to change her opinion. She saw him as a worthy heir, one that she would have to go strong to protect, for his sake and her queen. You guys, you're gonna upset the queen and the prince, he's waiting. Chisana was quite shy, being amongst the youngest Atlanteans, despite that she was very fit in the support role and the long range, fitting that role best. Anagi and Misaki shot towards Naruto in breakneck speed as he appeared in front of him in no time. I find myself in the deep, for I am the sea, I am the water, and the water is me. I control my flow. Both of them attack, however the attack was deflect towards each other, as Naruto backhanded the both of them away. Yes, you are the water itself. You dictate the flow, all within the reach. It move as you wish. Feel the energy of all around you and will it to do your bidding. That is the concept behind the abyssal arts. Once you learn, you can adapt, and once you do, you can control. Tiamat pace as Naruto chakra rose. It became so dense, it started to resemble water. It was Naruto now that moved in, as he went after Anagi first, as he grabbed her and knocked her into the air. Anagi momentarily locked eyes with Naruto, but she swore that she was looking at her queen. The longer she stared, the darker they became. The darker the world became until she saw her reflection looking back at her. As Naruto delivered a powerful spin kick, she slammed into the far wall. Mikaji attacking from the rear, as Chisana threw more of her projectiles towards Naruto. As Naruto rotated on his heel to face Mikaji, as he parried few of her attacks before he catch one of Chisana's bomb. He then slammed it right into Mikaji, pushing her away from him, as she was engulfed in an explosion, as he deflected all others except for one, as he threw it back towards the young Atlantean. That's enough, my prince. You perform amazingly, as expected of my child. Tiamat walked up to Naruto and showered him with praise. Thank you, said Naruto, but I still have a ways to go. I'm still not able to contend with you or the sirens. Though the three that Naruto fought were not weak, they weren't the strongest here. Far from it. The first three that Tiamat had created, as Naruto called them the sirens. You have excelled in all I taught you thus far. It is such a blessing that you're still young, and able to learn more, how to manipulate all the energy around you. You have learned how to become the water and learn how to control yourself, but now you must control even the water itself. You're referring to Senjutsu. My father and his teacher was a part of the art with Toad teaching. They are merely children. What they believe to be a profound understanding of the world energy has barely only scratched the surface. There are abundance of energy that is within the universe. Solar, natural, even the energy of life and death. With the proper tutelage, you'll be learning how to manipulate the very molecules around you. Imagine the very space around you is your Hatsu, she said. She had a more understanding of this world energy and how best to use them. She was gonna instruct Naruto in something far more powerful than the sage art that was taught by his predecessors. Really? Said Naruto, as his true age was showing, the happiness on his face. Let's start right now, he said. Just wait, I'll have this done in no time. Hey guys, hurry up and get up, he said. That made her beyond happy. She had learned a lot about him. Despite him being a leader with many relying on him, he was still a teenager. He got excited when he learned something new, and he still saw things as cool and awesome. This was one of the things that she cherished the most. Did you not hear His Majesty's orders? How dare you lie there and make Prince Naruto wait? Shouting could be heard from the entrance of the throne room as a figure approached. Hey, Chusan, you always have the best timing. Mom said that she was gonna teach me how to control everything around me. The three other Atlanteans stood at attention once Chusan entered the room. She was thin and small, slender, white hair, red eyes. She wore what to be a white coat with black patterns around it, and a pair of open-toe heels, as she had long, white curved horns in her head. As Naruto called her Chosuna, however he called her Cho for short, Tayama assigned her to be Naruto's main summon. As Naruto's charm worked quickly on her, when he first got the ability, he summoned her almost every day. He believed a king should know the people under him. Cho had little personality on the surface before meeting Naruto. However, after prolonged exposure to him, her feelings started to show up. She displayed obsessive tendencies, as she was rather protective over Naruto, as she was quick to anger when someone interrupted her time with Naruto, except for the queen. She had almost killed Sasuke several times because of that. Naruto did not mind her personality quirks. He felt like it was what made her special. Kurama also liked her as well, as she trusted Naruto's safety around her, as Naruto felt like she was the one that was most like himself, even with her other qualities. Of course, my prince, I will always be there for you when you need me, she said gleefully as she was talking to Naruto. It seems like her personality just switched. It was then that Naruto got the memories of his clone. Wow, has it been 3 weeks already, he said. Damn, and just when we were getting to the good point. As Naruto knew that it was time for him and Sasuke to return to Konoha, unless they invoke the annoying wrath of Konoha leadership. It seems like I have to return. The clone I left behind ran out of chakra in front of our sensei, and if Sasuke and I don't return before him, he will have a field day. He's already got his suspicion of us. If he thinks that we've been sneaking out of the village, things might get a whole lot more difficult for us. Would it help if I kill him, my prince? I could do it right now if that is your wish, said Cho. Due to him handling Empire business, he hadn't summoned her in a while, so these past 3 weeks were a dream for her. If it could continue, she would happily kill this person for him. That won't be necessary, Chosen. Plus, as annoying as he is, Kakashi hasn't done anything to warrant that kind of action. As long as he don't interfere with our actions, we can leave him be. But then you will have to go back to that wretched place. I don't understand why you won't let me and the other Atlanteans lay waste to that wretched village and all of its inhabitants. I'm sure our majesty wouldn't mind. As she looked towards Tayama, who nodded their head in agreement. They dismissed Konoha for the treatment on their prince, and they were constantly trying to get Naruto to allow them to attack it. It really isn't that bad, especially since I haven't spent that much time in the village for years now. Anyways, I have to go to the surface, but I'm sure I'll be back in no time, said Naruto. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, I post a brand new series over Anime Prince of what if Naruto accidentally sent Team 7 to the Dragon Ball universe. Yes guys, a crossover, so go ahead, check it out, and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to go ahead guys and check out the other episodes over Anime King 3. And yeah guys, so without further ado, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.